New York is the city that never sleeps, and neither does Sal Licata. From Flushing in the Bronx to the Meadowlands in MSG, Sal sounds off on the biggest sports news of the day. Welcome to WFAN Daily with Sal Licata.
Wow, what a game at the Garden. Knicks go up 2-0. Okay, a lot to unpack from this one. By the way, Hoff, because we're doing this live here, is there a way you can get comments up on this thing? Because I would like to respond to some people if they do have them. Can you see comments?
I'll give you some comments, yeah.
Okay, and then you could chime in with some of the best ones maybe, and we could have this be interactive here. Okay, first thoughts from the game. How the fuck does Jalen Brunson not win the MVP? What more do you need to say? I know Jokic is good. I understand SGA is a beast. What more do you need to see? That game wasn't even worth watching until Brunson came back. Nothing else mattered. They need to get Brunson back. Otherwise, they don't have a shot. He comes back, and not only did he come back, he looked terrific. In the initial, return, I was like, oh, man, he looks a little hobbled. But Brunson looked as good as ever late in that fourth quarter, especially as he's always done here, taking over that game down the stretch. But my goodness, he shows you. And, look, the Knicks have been dealt blow after blow after blow after blow. There's only so much you can take. But if anything happens to Brunson, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's it. Season officially over. So we're all waiting, holding our breath to find out what the hell was going on with Jalen Brunson. While that was taking place, the Pacers were lighting up the scoreboard because Brunson being out shouldn't impact the Knicks not playing a lick of defense. Embarrassing first half from the Knicks as far as defense goes. You can talk about the rebounding as well. Again, I know they miss Mitchell Robinson. Maybe we didn't think they were going to miss him in this series because of the way the matchup is, but they do miss him, rim protector. I mean, if I got to see McConnell get in the paint one more time and drop one of those layups in there, somebody knock him on his ass. I mean, Jesus. McConnell? Come on now. Carlisle doing you a favor by sitting him on the bench, but I can't take McConnell. Anyway, Mitch's presence in the middle is missed. His rebounding prowess is missed. And the Knicks have not been good defensively now for two halves in this series. The first half tonight and the first half in game one as well. They turned it up in the second half. I get that the intensity is hard to keep up, especially with a team like the Pacers who are moving the ball all over the place here. But the Knicks have to be better defensively. So that was the bigger problem in the first half than just missing Jalen Brunson, although, of course, they go as Brunson goes. And then you see Brunson come back in the second half. And maybe the best part of the whole thing, without Brunson, without the Knicks playing a lick at defense, the Pacers still couldn't really pull away from the Knicks. The Knicks have seen, that's why I felt more confident after game one, even though the Knicks didn't play a great game in game one. I felt more confident because I'm not threatened by this Pacers team at all. McConnell doesn't scare me. He annoys me. He doesn't scare me, though. Halliburton, all right, whatever. Miles Turner, all right, whatever. I mean, Siakam's a good player, and he's nothing to, you can't overlook Siakam. He's a terrific player. But as a whole, Indiana doesn't scare me. The Knicks have taken their best shot, and still twice Indiana had the Knicks in a spot where it looked like Indiana was maybe going to be in control. And twice they failed. And once Brunson came back healthy, I never feel like the Knicks were going to be threatened in that game at all. So I don't think Indiana has a shot in this series unless Jalen Brunson is hurt. Now, talking about injuries, I mean, it's not enough that they lose Randall. It's not enough that they lose Bogdanovich. It's not enough that they lose Mitch. Now, Anunoby goes down. They played, without an entire quarter without Brunson, and then they played without Anunoby down the stretch as he hurts his hamstring. At the recording of this podcast, as we're live here following the game on Wednesday night, we don't know the severity of the Anunoby hamstring injury, other than it was enough to keep him out of the game. But, the Knicks can't really be without him. They still could beat the Pacers without him, but it's going to take a lot from everybody else, from Brunson, from DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo is very good. Josh Hart's very good. One thing about DiVincenzo, if I may nitpick here, down the stretch there, final possession, Knicks get an offensive rebound. They kick it out to DiVincenzo. The clock just reset, and he's chucking a three. It drives me up a wall. Even if he made it, it would have driven me up a wall. He missed the shot. It's a stupid shot. he needs to be smarter. I know he plays with heart, with hustle, with toughness. You can't be stupid. And that's a spot where, as much as the game has evolved and opened up and guys taking threes and there's no such thing as a bad shot anymore, you grab a rebound, you got a nice lead, clock is winding down, hold off on chucking the three for a second. My God, the idiocy sometimes of these players in today's game, it drives me up a wall. Anyway, overall, a good performance from DiVincenzo. Achua was okay. Everybody clamoring for Achua to get in there. He was all right. Big picture, though, the Pacers can't beat the Knicks. They're not good enough. Oh, by the way, speaking of Pacers-Knicks, if you weren't at the game, I was not at the game, and you were watching the broadcast, we really didn't have a choice. There's no alternate call. I mean, I guess you could listen to the radio, but I want to watch the game. You hear Reggie Miller running his mouth. Reggie, hold that L. You're used to it, buddy. Another big L at the world's most famous for Reggie Miller. Shut it. Keep it moving. You're lucky your Pacers get a game in this series. They don't make them like they used to. Huh, Reg? Huh? I mean, the favoritism, my God. Just even seeing Reggie Miller before the game and talking about it, I thought it was going to be okay and fun. I was sick of it. I mean, I want to see Starks go over to the booth or to the table and give him one of those headbutts. That would have been something that would have been appealing to me. All right, Hop, do we have anything here that you want to interject so we make this interactive? You getting any comments here? Tell me how this works.
Yes, so I got a couple. For example, Gin and Boost writes, Carlisle won the game for the Knicks by benching McConnell. That's the story of this game.
Okay, it's not the story of this game, but I do understand what you're saying. I mean, McConnell is an infuriating player. He doesn't look like he's athletic at all, yet he finds his way in the paint somehow. He's a pest. He's getting all those layups. Somebody needs to knock him on his rear end. Now, he did take off Brunson, and after they got into it, Brunson turned it up another notch. You saw him, not that Brunson needs to turn it up, but just the physical element, the toughness, the intensity was turned up a little bit by Brunson after that little scuffle with McConnell. But hey, look, I mean, McConnell's not that good of a player. That's why Carlisle had him on the bench. It's not what turned the game around. Jalen Brunson turned the game around. The Knicks shooting, Knicks defense, Knicks on the glass, that turned the game around. But I don't know if Carlisle did himself any favors by benching that little pest McConnell who I just cannot stand. What else we got?
From Joe Flacco. Thanks, Joe, for watching. We are unkillable.
No, wrong. Just like my partner Brandon Tierney thought that the Jets were unkillable, they were killed. And eventually, I hate to say it, especially on a night where the Knicks win, the Knicks will be killed. It just won't be this round against the Pacers. It will be next round against Boston, even with Anunoby, even with Mitch and Randall. It would have been an uphill battle with the Celtics, although if everybody was fully healthy, I would have taken my chances and felt pretty good about it going against the Celtics. Look, Celtics are the best team in the league. You tip your cap if they win, fine. But at least if the Knicks were fully healthy, I would have felt okay. Now, without Randall, I never felt they really had a shot to beat Boston. Now, without Mitch, without Bogdanovich, and potentially without Anunoby, we don't know the severity, they have no shot. So they may be unkillable against the Pacers. They will get killed against the Celtics.
Well, that's what you're getting a lot of. Brooklyn Blaze 1 says if OG is out, season is over. Is it the hamstring? So a lot of people are concerned about OG, and basically that is the end of this New York Knicks season.
Brooklyn Blaze is onto something here because it's been a great run, and the Knicks have taken on a lot. They've withstood a lot of BS. I felt it. I've talked about it at the time on the radio show. Once Randall went down, the Knicks reached their pinnacle after the Anunoby trade with Brunson, Randall, and Anunoby. They were playing like the best team in the NBA. And then guys started to get hurt. Randall goes down, Anunoby goes down, and I felt like at that point, the a ceiling was put on the Knicks season. Now, I was also proven wrong because I didn't think the Knicks would end up the 2 seed in the regular season. They did. So they blew the cap off of what I thought was going to be, the ceiling of the regular season once those injuries happened. However, since then, we learned about Randall being out for the year, not coming back in the postseason. You see Mitch go down. You see Anunoby now go down. Bogdanovich down. Anunoby would be the last blow. Like, you can make an argument that the Knicks forget the Pacers here because I'd be stunned if the Knicks. I mean, look, who knows? It's a long series, and going back to Indiana, they're going to be tough. Maybe they win a game, whatever. I still think the Knicks in 5. But without Anunoby, could that change things? But just moving forward, definitively, there is okay, we could overcome Randall being out. All right, it sucks, it's awful, but we could overcome it. All right, Mitch goes down. Sucks, not very good. You could overcome it, maybe. All right, Bogdanovich goes down. Not a huge deal. You miss him off the bench. The scoring off the bench. You could overcome it potentially. Even all 3 together, you could overcome it. You cannot overcome Anunoby on top of all that. You got anything else, Hoff?
I do. I have 2 more.
Yeah.
First of all, from Bob Torek, this round is our championship. I don't know. I mean, last round might have been, to be honest with you. The 76ers was a series.
Well, that was a great series. Look, if the Knicks win this round, beating the Pacers is sweet. And, yeah, I don't want to say that it's the Knicks championship, but this is where this is going to be as good as it gets for the Knicks. Beating the Pacers in this series, and they have 2 more games to go, will be as good as it gets. And really, you can't ask anything more. It's not knocking them. The Celtics are on another level anyway. Maybe the Knicks get there this coming offseason. They're not there yet. And with everything that they've had to withstand here, all these freaking injuries, there's no way you can expect them to beat the Celtics. Matter of fact, if they beat the Celtics a game, I remember feeling like that against the 72-win, or whatever it was, Chicago Bulls. If the Knicks won a game from that team, it would be great. And they did win a single game. You don't like it going through it. It sucks, but you know what? It's an accomplishment. If the Knicks, the hobbled Knicks, can beat the Celtics or be competitive in that series, I would be surprised. It would be a great accomplishment. But forget about that. Enjoy tonight and try to enjoy beating the Pacers, which should be the high watermark for the season. What's the last one?
Last one from Michael Amondi. Tibbs' stubbornness will be the Knicks' downfall.
Now I want to ask him how. Is he talking about because of all the injuries? That led to...
Yeah, with OG out, it's time to see how stubborn the Tibbs can be with his rotations.
Okay.
And he's talking about, basically riding everybody.
Okay. I did not think this was an issue at all. But, what's his name to his point?
Michael Amondi.
To Michael Amondi, to his point, it did cross my mind for the first time when Anunoby went down. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, what's going on here? Why are the Knicks dropping like flies? I don't believe it's the workload, but maybe there is something to it. And, Josh Hart's pretty healthy. Jalen Brunson came back and looked as good as he's been in the second half. Now, are they anomalies? Are they, fortunate for now? I don't know the answers, but there might be something to it. It's not like Bogdanovich, though, is playing 40-something minutes a game. Randall, yes, he plays a lot, but it was also a fluke injury. It wasn't like Anunoby with the hamstring. Maybe it could have just been awkward fall or whatever, too. I'm not going to chalk it up to Tibbs running the guys into the ground, which is why they're dropping like flies. However, I will admit, after Anunoby went down, it was the first time I thought maybe there's something to it. All right. That does it for us. I got to go because I'm going to be on SNY in about 13 minutes or so, live on SNY on Geico Sports Night. But if you're watching live, we appreciate it. Fun interacting. We'll continue doing this throughout the course of the postseason and moving forward as well. We'll do it with all this different stuff on WFAN Daily. Remember, you get the original content from me on the WFAN Daily feed. Download, rate, subscribe, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, in that same feed, you're going to get stuff from Boomer and Gio, from BT and Sal, from Evan and Tiki, from the shows at night as well. You get plenty of content in that feed if you download the WFAN Daily podcast. Hit us up, WFANDaily@gmail.com. We'll answer your questions, maybe not even for an upcoming mailbag episode, but just throughout the course of different episodes that we do here, as we do a daily episode during the week. All right, that does it for us. Hop, you want to add anything else? We're good to go here. We're out.
We're good. Let's go Knicks and let's go Rangers for at least this series.
Yeah, look, Rangers. Hey, Rangers tomorrow night, back at it again. I'm freaking exhausted. I got to go to sleep. But first, I have to do SNY. Then I have to go home. Then I could go to sleep and wake up and be on the radio tomorrow at 10 a.m. All right, that does it for us. We'll see you tomorrow.